Quinnipiac, as I've mentioned, was the best team I've seen in a long time in terms of the players they have there, their skill level, their ability level. Systematically, they're very good, and it was a hard game. That being said, for how I thought we played the first two periods was a tribute to their team too. I thought they were that good in the first two periods, and they were only up 2-0. We had chances in the third, and we had, if we could have made it 2-1, maybe a different story going down the stretch. But they, again, scored the empty net goal, make it 3-0. But they're a heck of a good team, and we'll get them again in I believe it's February, and they'll see a little different Brown team also. We didn't even get into Princeton until 2:30 in the morning, and we got to turn around and play at 4. And I thought the guys responded really well to what could be a hard situation with limited rest, and we responded very well. We got some breaks. We made those breaks, and were able to get up and played a pretty good offensive game and get out of Princeton with 2 points, which were two very important points. It's hard to label a game this early in the year as kind of a must-win, but I thought that was because we want to keep pace and we want to make sure we're in the picture as we move down the stretch within the league, and that was a big game. Coming back and playing up in Durham was a challenge, and it was a challenge because it's again, a quick turnaround. We had 3 games in 5 days. But I thought we did some really good things, and we just got to get a little better on the defensive side. We're having some breakdowns and some accountability things that we haven't had in the past that we need to sort out and drill and get better at. And we're still trying to find combinations too. We went into that game, we were really short. Not short in numbers, but we had guys that were playing injured. We have guys that are out that are injured, and they're not just guys that are role guys. These are guys that fill really important roles for us. Lappin and Brendan Whittet hasn't played since the 3rd game of the year, and Joey DeConcilis got hurt in the first period at Quinnipiac, and that makes it hard. Coupled with Ryan Jacobson, who was coming off a major rehab from last year, and I thought was making good strides, and then worked his way up into a top 6 forward spot, and missing him also. So again, not an excuse, but some guys were playing in different roles, and some guys grasped their opportunities, like Marcelo Lamake, I thought played great. And he's a guy that hasn't played a lot, but he had a great attitude and went in there, and when his number was called, which it was on Tuesday night, he played really, really good hockey, and that's what I want all the guys to understand, that there's an accountability to what we do, and there's an expectation to what we do as individuals and as a team, and we just got to make sure we keep striving to improve. No, it's a blessing. I mean, it wasn't. Obviously you don't predict that or plan that as a coach. I mean, it was just a situation where we had an open weekend, and I didn't want to squeeze any games in there when we were trying to put the schedule together, and so for us it comes at a great time. And it also comes at a time where we can work on some things that we need to work on and get back to some of the fundamentals and basics that are going to allow us to be successful. But the timing's great because a lot of those guys that are injured, they were injuries, but they were kind of minor in nature. So I would expect those guys to be healthy moving into next week and kind of add a little bit of a shot as we head into Cornell and then Colgate. Well, the league is, and I told the guys this after the game the other night, I mean, it's something that I think any successful team has to go through. We had success down the stretch last year, and we had really good success. But what the guys have got to understand is that we played as a team, and guys bought into what we were trying to do, and they played the game really hard. And I think sometimes people make assumptions, and assumptions are a bad thing. And even though we talk to the guys and remind the guys and talk about why they have successes as a team, I think sometimes we get away from those tendencies and those traits, and we got to get back to that work ethic, that defensive intensity, and good things will happen on the other side of the puck. The league is excellent this year. You have 6 teams right now in the top 20. We were receiving votes in the polls. it's a legit and is the top league in the country. And so every game is going to be an absolute hard game. There's no off nights. There's no teams that you can look at and circle and say, you know what, if we play fairly well, that we should come out of there with 2 points. It's not the way this year. And we have to be ready to go into Cornell to play a really, really sound defensive road hockey game. And then we turn around and we got to go to a Colgate team that is young and has a lot of energy and has some big wins on the year. So it's going to be an interesting road trip, but one we look forward to also.